Do you think books, all right, do you think school children at school should have access to books in their library which involve strap-on dildos?
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Okay, we're gay, but we're in Barnes & Noble's, and there's a kids book section, a gay kids book section, and this shit is crazy. Look at this. Okay, there's the gay BCs, right? Bye Bye Binary. Bye Bye Binary with a mohawk on a baby. Gay BCs, you're not ready. Can you hold this? Okay. What? A is for arrow and ace. B is for bi. This is crazy. We're gay, but this is crazy. What? For a baby? Okay, E is for equality. We'll take that. F is for family. Okay, we're getting better. Okay, why did it start so crazy?
Just for hope.
It got better. I is for intersex. It's pushing it. For a baby, this is pushing it.
J is for joy.
J is for joy. We'll take Tio and Tio. That looks nice. Forgot this one. K is for Kiki. Oh wait, I guess there's no gay word for M.
Lions, if a person wants to be with another person of the same sex, that's their business, and over here we don't care. I start to care when these people start trying to sell their beliefs to me and to the kids who should not be exposed to adult conversation. You see me? There are kids who can't even tie their shoelace, yet these damn people like Joy Reid want to get them exposed to these bumbleclot nastiness. People like Joy Reid used to be against this type of behavior.
Now, the confusing part of all this, Joy, is what you really think about the LGBTQ plus, whatever it now is, community, right? Because as you know, when you started commentating about this, appearing to be a big ally, a lot of stuff emerged which came from posts that you had purportedly put up in a blog between 2007 and 2009, one of which said, most straight people cringe at the sight of two men kissing. Another said, I don't want to watch the two male characters in Brokeback Mountain. You were talking about having sex. Does that make me homophobic? Probably. You referred to the then Florida governor as Miss Charlie and featured the tag gay politicians. Now, you said at the time when all this emerged, I genuinely don't believe I wrote those hateful things because they're completely alien to me. I hired cybersecurity experts to see if somebody manipulated my words on my former blog. And the reality is they've not been able to prove it. Now you're not at MSNBC. Now you're on your own, doing your own thing, and you don't have to worry about repercussions and stuff. Are you prepared to finally come clean and just admit that was your blog and you did say those things?
You know, Pierce, I might have known that you would use this opportunity and interview and that this was your purpose, right? This is your purpose. And that's fine. This is your show and you can do whatever you like. You know, I could sit here and go on and fight with you about your strange, weird obsession with Meghan Markle, but I won't do that because that would be rude. But what I will say is,
if you want to.
We can do that as well.
Sure.
But the point being that I was very open with my employer at the time about what happened with that old site, which I stopped writing in, before I even came back into the NBC family. And what I have not really talked about publicly, but what I can tell you is that I had a very legitimate reason for being concerned about it because I was also on the radio at that time. And the things that I was literally talking about on the radio were quite the opposite of the things that were in that site. That is the reason that we began investigating what was going on with that site. And there was also someone who I do not know, who I still do not know, who had login access to my site for years that we did not even discover because I hadn't looked at the site for years. I don't know who that is. I don't know why they had access to the site. But had I not been open about that, I would have been definitely fired or there would have been some repercussions. I was open with my company about that. I've been very open. Everyone who knows me knows about it. And so if you want to argue with me about an old blog site, that's fine. And I'll take
I just asked you if you did write it.
And hold on. And I'm willing to take responsibility for anything that was on that site.
Did you say them?
For you,
did you
but
say
hold
those
on.
things?
Wait. Listen, what I'm
Come
going
on,
to say
Joy.
is very simply
You said them.
What I'm going to say is
Come
very
on,
simply
you said them.
Piers.
You know you
The point that you're attempting to
You
make
just spun
now-
me an absolute load of
hold on
old
a second.
flannel.
The reason that you are trying to go here.
All she had to say was, no, I didn't say those words. But she didn't, because she's a damn liar, willing to blame hackers for her words.
Have you watched Brokeback Mountain?
No.
Okay. I mean,
And what is the point of that?
Well, because you said I don't want to watch the two male characters in Brokeback Mountain having sex.
Okay, so what does me watching Brokeback Mountain have to do with that book, whether or not it is pornographic?
No, nothing to do with the book.
That book,
Nothing to do
that
with
is
the
a
book.
book that people can have the opportunity to read if they so choose.
No, I'm not talking about the book.
I do not understand how an organization
I'm not talking about the
can
book.
make a decision. It is not about the movie. It is about whether or not Moms for Liberty.
I'm not talking about the book.
The organization who should make
Joy,
decisions for other
I'm not
people's
talking
children.
about the book, as
Whether
you know.
I watched a movie or not makes absolutely no difference.
I'm
Have you
talking
seen the
about
movie?
you posting on your blog that you wouldn't watch Brokeback Mountain because you don't want to see two male characters having sex. Does that make me homophobic? Probably. Most straight people cringe at the sight of two men kissing. Your words, not mine, Joy.
And your point is?
That maybe that makes you a bit of a hypocrite when you're taking the position of being an ally for the LGBTQ community.
No, Bridget, when she went to MSNBC, she had to sell her soul to the deviants over there, the Jeffrey Epstein personalities who are rampant in this media circle we live in. She had to do that in order to get on them cameras and to get the bag, because once she got over there, her beliefs changed.
I want to play a clip. This is you talking about, you attacking parents who spoke out about their concerns about gay and paedophilia pornography books being placed in school libraries.
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so
Sure.
I'm going to answer
Please
for you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? I mean, that's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No,
wait,
we're
hold
talking
on.
about public school.
One moment.
All right.
Many parents in Eugene are upset about multiple homework assignments from Churchill High School that they call inappropriate and shocking. One assignment involved a spinning wheel labeled with various sex acts. In the other assignment, students were asked to write a short story depicting a sexual fantasy. Now, we're about to show you a post from the school that explains one of those assignments. Before we show you that, we want to mention some viewers may find this content uncomfortable, but in the interest of transparency, we want to show you the entire post that these students saw. So take a look. Here it is. This is the first controversial homework assignment that got so much attention in Eugene. High school students in the health class there were asked to write a short story about a sexual fantasy with no way of passing an STI. It tells students to choose items to use in their story, giving examples of romantic music, massage oils, and feathers. And it summarizes the assignment by saying your story should show that you can show and receive loving physical affection without having sex. Now, many parents say their kids were very uncomfortable with that assignment. Now, the principal of the school says the school uses a curriculum in its health classes called OWL. It means Our Whole Lives. And now we're learning about another controversial assignment from February that was called With Whom Would You Do It? It involved a spinning wheel on the screen of the classroom. The wheel was labeled with various sex acts. When the wheel stopped on one of the acts, students were asked to write the initials of both a boy and a girl in the class that they would do the activity with.
What? No, my problem with joyreid is that this is a type of black woman they put in front of the camera to influence black folks, at least the non-thinking ones. They, the powers that be, aren't from our neighborhood. They don't look like us, but they decide what stories we should hear and what we should agree with. Now, joyreid, knowing the history of our people, should be ashamed of herself, brethren. Ashamed. See? Ashamed to be used in this manner against the greater good of her people. But she doesn't care. To get to where she wants to be professionally, her soul must mingle with the devil. Hold tight. Me gone again.